Hello everybody, this is Edgar Eddie Fernandez, your safety coach 4.0, the founder of Sufficient Limited and the creator of the Experiential Knowledge Solution. So we continue with the second part of the video, the future of the process safety on digital transformation. So summarizing the first part, it's the things that I talk on that video is in general how risk management is being impacted by digital transformation in the bank industry, and my opinion that I'm taking from this article from McKinsey and company. It's how we're going to apply it to process safety. As you know, the bank industry is big on risk assessments, risk identification. So now the other industries that apply PSN, like such as the chemical, the pharmaceutical, sometimes the manufacturing industry, won't be the difference. So watch the first part and you're gonna understand what I'm going to talk about on the second part. So the second part is sizing the opportunity of digital transformation in process safety. So one of the things actually that digital transformation is doing, if your company is gonna go into that, it's gonna increase the efficiency and the effectiveness of risk management, your current risk management and compliance as well. And actually, they said on this article that the bank industry has achieved cost reduction and risk management, cost reduction between 20 and 30% on cost, and increasing efficiency on 30% as well on the risk management, or even more. So they suggest actually to have some type of a structure, and actually this is very compatible with process safety. And actually I have it on front of my screen. The first one, actually the core elements, obviously the first one is it's risk management, risk identification. So the activities actually they say to perform obviously is going to be risk assessments and risk aggregation and reporting. So that's the reason why on the first video I said first assess what you want, what you have right now, and where you want to take it before the digital transformation. So you have the risk assessment, you perform process hazard analysis, and you have a system to that employees or workers report hazards, and you perform and you conduct incident investigations, or so that's going to be a great opportunity. So that's the supporting activities would say is process hazard analysis, process safety information, incident investigation, and hazard identification and reporting. So those five actually that's your supporting activities. So that's the thing that you need to review in your organization. What is the current state and where you want to take it. And obviously you want to go to the digital transformation. You need to see how you're going to digitize that and assess. The cost obviously and the risks that they are implied going through that process. So scenarios as well. So what do PHAs do every 5 years or every time that you change or you modify something new in your process? So pretty much you go to the PHA and go to assess that scenario. So supporting activities on this one is going to be process hazard analysis obviously and management of change. The third core element that the bank industry has that could be applicable to the process hazard analysis, data models and forecasting. Exactly what the process hazard analysis does, and that's when you can take it to the other level is data, is generating data. So and can predict other and can predict other scenarios that can have outcomes that we don't want it. Absolutely, that's the reason why you do it. So how this part is gonna digitized? I think I don't know exactly how, but the thing that I know is management of change is gonna be digitized on that. So that means that management of change, part of your management of change, it needs to include if you have conducted the process hazard analysis, yes or no, and also if yes, so all the action items, recommendable action items have been completed. Those two instructions, absolutely, they can be digitized to keep progressing on the change or keep progressing on the project. Aggregation and reporting, that's another element. So remember that we talked about actually the model on the first one We have create, estimate, aggregate, and manage. That's the model actually they are proposing. And so now you're gonna aggregate. What you're gonna aggregate? So you're gonna aggregate those hazards and risks identified to the data base. So actually, in process safety, sometimes you call it cause and consequences. Pretty much is the same. So, and you aggregate those ones to the database to review in the future, or to prevent other that the same occurrence happen in the other processes that they can have the same scenario. Called sometimes for example, here it's very very important. Your CAPAs, corrective and action items, corrective and preventative action items. So the PA part is, so you correct the thing that the incident happened or the deficiency happened, and then you review the whole process to prevent that the same one occurs on different ones. That's aggregation and reporting as well. Review and challenge. So how you're gonna review, or how you're gonna make more agile, I would say, your process hazard analysis process, your management of change, and how you're gonna collect the process safety information in a very efficient, effective, and very accurate manner in the less time possible. So you're gonna determine there, depending on the organization, your internal controls and documentation. So that's the pillars that I'm recommending to have on sizing the opportunity, on digitized the risk management program at the bank industry, in the chemical, pharmaceutical, and manufacturing industry. It's how you're gonna how the digitalization is gonna impact the process safety. So this one actually, the thing that we can deal pretty soon, and we wanna have it in front of our faces. It's blockchain. So blockchain, obviously, this technology is coming from the cryptocurrency market, but many industries, including the oil and gas and pharmaceutical, they have been interested on this technology. Is when process safety is gonna be impacted once the industry when the industry starts going through the blockchain, is when process safety is gonna be impacted. Needs to be digitalized. I don't know. Like I said on my previous video, is something that as an organization you need to assess. But blockchain is gonna go into block. So let me give you a quick example on a safety program that can be impacted. Contractor safety. So you have the transactions, you have the blockchains, all the process to hire contractors. Safety is gonna be one block on the blockchain. So that block has policies, has all the safety requirements, all the safety documentation required to allow that contractor start working in your facility until everything is complied, everything has been completed, right? Orientation, review, paperwork, putting the contractor on your database, etc. That block is gonna load to the other blocks going. So it's gonna be in sequence. So that block is not unlocked by the safety department, the process is stopped there. It cannot go in. It cannot go further. So that's the thing is gonna happen when blockchain is introduced. So in other words, if somebody wants to start working with a contractor without no checks from the safety documentation, training certifications, etc. On the system, you can't. In the reality, well, that's dependent on the organization, what decisions they're gonna make, right? But on the system, that's gonna happen. And actually, that's the main goal of blockchain. Is every transaction on the contractor management, the safety component is gonna be there, and once it's completed, it's gonna allow the other components to keep going. So you need to assess the risk. You need to assess the risk of the hazard and the risk of that process as well. So if something is gonna be delayed, so how how the other blocks are gonna be impacted, and everybody needs to be in agreement that if the contractor doesn't comply with the safety policy, with the not the safety policy, with the safety requirements before coming to the facility, so now what you gonna do? So that's the type of discussions you need to have. So because if not, you need, okay, you say, well, you need to discuss that with the safety department, with the department that it brings the contractor, with the department is going to be impacted by the contractor work. So it's going to be done in paper after that, or you're gonna wait until the system pretty much released that block and start, and you continue going through the process. That's the thing that you need to analyze. So actually, the bank has different processes actually, but they recommend one actually to go to the digital transformation. And so actually we discuss it, and then it's a priority digital solutions and implementation as well. And pretty much says that so you need to prioritize what you're gonna implement. And I mean what the process is gonna be critical. You need to identify which one you're gonna implement first, how you're gonna implement it, and what type of digital solution you're gonna bring. That's very important. So and the third one, let me see it here, is here. So actually, is the innovation introduced to the organization. So let me, is priority digital solutions and the innovation that is introduced on the production or the organization that focus on the change management. So in other words, if change management is so important today, tomorrow is going to be so critical. So that policy or that part of that program that is part of the process hazard analysis or the process safety management is going to be so critical. So I won't be surprised that in the future change management is going to be by itself. So now you go to the risk-based process safety. You have 4 pillars, right? It's the commitment. It's the understanding the risk. The other one is managing the process, and then the one it's learning from the risk. It's that the incident investigation, audits, etc. So those pillars actually, and the management of change is going to be, I think, by itself, absolutely, because now something is, if now it's everything is controlled by the management of change, so only you're going to digitize that on the blockchain technology, for example, on the safety block, and then everything needs to be completed step by step on the change management process, and then after that everything is going to be unlocked to proceed with the other steps to start implementing the change. So resuming, actually, that's the thing that actually digital risk it's bringing. It's all this digital transformation as a process safety professional, something that we need to understand, or we need to start understanding. It's what is the digital risk? What is the risk that this type of technologies or this type of initiatives they have intrinsically, and it's something that it needs to be included in the process hazard analysis. So summarizing, so one of the things that I want to reinforce is the process that I have here. It's you need to have risk identification. You need to have a scenario analysis, that are model and forecasting. That the other was is scenarios, and you need to be able to identify and predict. Aggregation and reporting. So all that it generates data needs to be included on the database of the specific process, and review and challenge. So now you're gonna review the digital technology, and you're gonna challenge that technology. Absolutely something that needs to be done, because now everybody's going to digital transformation. Everybody's going in excited, everybody's going in panic, but you need to challenge that technology if that's going to work for you, yes or no. And internal controls and documentation. Remember this to conclude. One of the actually the fourth industrial revolution is environment, and digital transformation is one of the pillars, right? But you have innovation as well. So that doesn't mean that you are not going, or you haven't gone through digital transformation. That doesn't mean that you are out of the industry 4.0. Why I'm saying this? Because nobody, I mean, it's true that technology and the digital transformation is there. It's going to happen quickly? In my opinion, it's not. Second, you're going to be forced to go to digital transformation? My answer is I don't know, because that depends on the organization, the market, and the industry you are. Therefore, the thing that I know is because innovation is part of is one of the pillars of the fourth industrial revolution, and I know that the things that work today, it won't work tomorrow. And it's not only in technologies, in ideas, marketing behavior, technology changes, and inclusive regulations, standards, and codes. So for sure, I know the thing that I know is you need to have an innovation system or an innovation culture, to say better. You need to start having a culture for innovation to adapt to the changes that are coming, or your market is challenging you every day. That thing, yeah, is going to occur for sure. You need to go through that technology, I don't know. You need to go to that digital transformation, I don't know. The recommendation that I say on the first video is you need to assess your current state that you have right now and where you want to go with this. That's the thing you need to do. You need to have a strategy, and you need to have a plan. You need to have an action plan. So in terms of on incident reduction, is the same, but that's another video. So hopefully this video helps my colleagues, the profession of the process safety engineers, have a broad scope and general information and general awareness on what is coming pretty soon, or what is here right now on the digital transformation that is generating digital risks, and we need to be prepared. Thank you very much. Have an excellent day. See you in the next video. Bye. I'm Edgar Eddie Fernandez, Safety Coach 4.0. Put your comments if you agree, disagree, or I'm saying insane things. All comments are welcome. So the goal of this is to start having a conversation and help us each other on these changes that are occurring so fast. Bye.